morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Balaban.
Miss Russell, please stand up. And Miss Mariah at school today, would you please stand up too and come out here, please. We have a very special visit today, and the reason that we have Lindy and Nick, Lindy the Dingo, and Nick who looks after Lindy, he'll tell you all about the Nick. The reason that they're here is because the year 5s and 6s had the chance of entering a crossword competition, and those who did, I sent them in, and Mariah has won a prize, that's your prize, and there's your little certificate, and that's so that you can eat that. You can eat that afterwards. And Russell's prize was a visit from Nick and Lindy to the school, and Nick's going to have a little chat about a very special sort of dingo that we have here. And then we have a few people at the end of assembly who I'd like to stay behind. They were the people who bothered to enter the competition. So there's these two, and Oscar, Alex, Hayley, Montana, Jaden M, Byron, Josh, Dean, F, Rose, Zach, Luke, and those people I would like them to stay behind here at assembly, so we can have some photos. They bothered to enter the competition. So, up here for you.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Hello everybody, and congratulations. I'm so glad that your school and you entered into the competition. This is Lindy Dingo. My surname's Papalia, so I give that name to her. So Lindy Dingo Papalia's got her own Facebook page. She's got over 3,000 friends. And I use that networking to encourage and sort of try to raise awareness around the fight of the dingo. Dingo's an Australian native by every definition. They've been in Australia for 28,500 years. That fact's just been released about 4 weeks ago from NAS research and carbon dating. But the dingo's the only Australian wildlife that doesn't have protection. And there's 4 types of dingo in Australia. There's a desert dingo, Alpine, tropical and Fraser Island. And Lindy's an old girl, but her type of dingo is an Alpine. There's only 140 left, and they live in the Calista National Park. Dingoes come in different colours. She's a tan dingo, which is the most prolific, and that's the colour that you usually see on screen and paper and in film. But they come in pure white, and they also come in jet black. There's lots of things about the dingo. When I didn't know much about dingoes, and about 15 years ago, I went east and I went to Castle Brewery, and I had a few ales, and I went by taxi out to a bloke called Bruce Jacobs. He was a hermit, and he lived with 100 dingoes, and they were actually the Alpines. There's 140 of her type left in the Kosciuszko National Park, but at that time, this particular fellow lived with 100 in his location. And I went in there and Bruce said, "What do you know about dingoes?" And like most people, I didn't know very much at all. And he said, "Lay on the ground." And I'd had a few beers, so it was easy to lie down. And I lay down, and 100 dingoes jumped on top of me and lay all over me and around me. And for me, that was like an epiphany. It was like, I'm from a farm and I've had dogs all my life, but I've never had a dingo. And a dingo is not a dog. A dingo is a wolf. They're quite different. They don't bark, ever. The coat doesn't have an irritant in it. My daughter's allergic to whatever's in a dog coat, but dingoes don't carry that component. They only come in season once a year, not twice a year. Dingoes will only breed with dogs when their family structure's been tampered with or destroyed. In the wild, they have a family structure with 2 alphas. And those two alphas, they rule the roost, and they'll have 7 or 8 maybe in the pack. And that family structure of other dingoes will be non-breeding parent dingoes, but they'll be surrogates. They'll take on the position of auntie or uncle to look after those dingoes perfectly, and it works out beautifully. They won't breed with dogs. The only time they breed with dogs is when the alphas have been killed with 1080 baiting or bullets or traps. So humans make that mess. If that hasn't happened, everything stays in order, and if a dog enters into the dingo territory, they get killed. That's just how it works. They're very territorial animals. If the alphas have been killed, they will breed with dogs, and that's where you get a calamity happening.